Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 506. I'm one of the hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Living the dream.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 506 of the Moviecast. Whew, man, we're getting up there. I want to say, before we start this whole conversation about what we've been up to, I want to say, for those watching on YouTube, if you like what you see, please hit that like, the subscribe button. We appreciate you guys. All right, let's get into what we've been up to first. I'll kick us off. So, watching-wise, I've been just more high score girl. I'm still not done with that yet. I haven't had much time to watch much stuff because I actually played a lot of Paper Mario. So we'll get into that in a little bit. I read more of the comic book House of M. I'm one left. I have one story left of that. So yeah, it's nice. I like that. It's really cool. Even though it's Wolverine's like the miracle person that remembers it. I thought that was kind of, I didn't like that lame part of it, but
because his healing power heals everything.
Yeah, that's just
memories.
Why do you ever have amnesia then?
Yeah. Why can't he remember himself?
Because Professor X did it.
Oh my god, I can't even say the word. The heck is the metal?
Adamantium.
Adamantium. Oh my gosh. You got a freaking shot with the adamantium? I can't even say it. I don't know what's going on with
That's how ridiculous
Adamantium.
That's how ridiculous.
Exactly. I mean, you gotta love the little, like we talked about it before, but the Ryan Reynolds crashing his little get together with the X-Men cast, and then Ryan Reynolds pops in, and then Liv Schreiber shows up. It's like, yeah, XMen Origins.
Yep. So, all right. So that's really it for me. I've been watching. I think I know this week. See, I was gonna start Cursed on Netflix. I actually started.
Oh.
No, bad.
It just looks so awful.
I know, but it's like my kind of story. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll watch this. But
I saw a review for it, and the guy was like, well, I wasn't going to do a review until I could watch the whole season, but since I'm only watching this one episode, I'll just do my review now.
Not good. Good thing is Umbrella Academy season 2 comes out Friday, so that's kind of what I held off on. So I'll be watching that this weekend coming up, and definitely be talking about that next week.
No, I was like, oh, Curse sounds interesting, but then I did watch the trailer and I saw that review, and I was like, oh, nope.
Yeah. They
said it's the worst parts of what CW does with their stuff.
Really? Damn it, Netflix.
Is Felicity in that show?
Oh gosh. Felicity all over. All right, Mike, what have you been watching?
I actually, without realizing this would happen, I caught up. I'm current now in Doom Patrol. Because they're only 7 episodes into the second season. They're still releasing it weekly. So I got there. So now I'm caught up. It's good. I've sort of binged it more than I did early on. I've watched a couple episodes in a single night, which is a bit... I like it. It's silly. It's definitely filling that Legion void for me of just nonsense superhero stuff. And I really love Timothy Dalton. I think that was great that because in Titans it was a recasting of the guy who has some. I don't know who that guy was in Titans, but
they needed a bigger name, obviously.
He's basically the foil for not literally, but like their version of like Patrick Stewart's Professor X. As the chief. It's a very similar character because I believe this is what Marvel ripped off from DC to make the X-Men originally, but I'm not sure. It's just similar. That's really it for me, though.
Okay. All right, Corey?
Well, not the one thing I did watch that was new was the Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge animated movie.
How is it? I want to watch that.
Really good.
It was really good. Yeah, it was very gory. It just starts off with
Mortal Kombat gory.
It goes all in on the whole like X-ray vision stuff. And
imagine if you only knew Mortal Kombat from like the '90s movies, and you're just like, oh, it's not that violent.
But it goes heavy on that, and you get to see how Jax loses his arms and all that and stuff, and the entire Scorpion clan. I don't even remember what the clan's name is again, but you get to see they get them decimated, and then you get to see Scorpion just go off and be ridiculous. But it is a Mortal Kombat kind of origin movie where you got Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, Liu Kang, Raiden, and the Mortal Kombat. This is the first Mortal Kombat game, essentially, because it's the 10th tournament or whatever, and they're gonna, Goro's there and all that. So it was really well done, absolutely. And it was a $1 rental on Amazon for whatever time period, so it was worth it for sure.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I want to check that out. That's one on my list for sure to watch.
It's a good length.
So
it's a good length too. It's like
Good.
just over an hour or something.
Oh, it's not on Netflix.
I mean,
no, not yet.
so
it's a pretty recent release, and it was pretty popular. So I think it's like they're not exactly shopping it yet because it's sold pretty well.
Yeah.
But I expect within the next 2 months, I bet you it'll be up on something. I mean, it's due. So because it has been out for a few months now already.
yeah.
So.
I mean, it got released like right around when COVID, like on digital, and COVID started to hit us. So
I wonder if that ends up on like HBO Max or something.
You might. That could be. I could see that.
If it's still around.
So, yeah.
Well, HBO will be, but
HBO's doing.
Oh no, I know HBO will stay around.
They're still as I'm following more of the DC Universe stuff, since I'm really a fan of it just because I like all that content. But it seems like the latest rumors, Titan season 3 will be on both that and HBO Max. So it still seems like HBO Max is the more permanent one in their minds at this point. But
I think that's going to be. I think the DC Universe, whatever you call it, the Universe app, whatever it is going to go away, and it merges. The only way these two will succeed, I think, is if they merge their content together. I really do.
Maybe.
So.
I mean, they are different audiences, also, though.
Sure.
A little bit. I don't know. We'll see. There's also they might
one
keep
with the other, though, like
yeah, like a premium deal or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Tony.
Let's see. I watched Netflix's The Old Guard with Charlize
I heard
Theron.
that was really good. I heard it was really good.
Like 72 million people last week watched.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a watch. I'll say that. It's definitely worth a watch. In terms of good, like, the highs are pretty good, but some of the lows are just like, it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. It's
it had like
basically
straight to video movie written all over it to me. Like,
totally. But it's kind of like this hybrid of like, I don't know, Blade and
Highlander.
Yeah, Blade, Highlander, and John Wick a little bit. Blade in the aspect that like it's a group of like immortals. I mean, they're not vampires, but like they can't, they're supposed to be immortal.
Highlander for the immortal thing, but
yeah, or I guess
I don't know. I don't know if there can only be one or not, but
yeah.
Are there swords?
Yes,
they are.
First 5 minutes of the movie, there's swords.
There you go. There's your Highlander too.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's solid. Like some of the action, I would compare to Extraction. I don't think the action or set pieces are as good as Extraction, but there's more characters that bounce off each other and stuff like that. So there's a little bit more depth there. Again, for if you already have the Netflix subscription and you're an action movie fan, definitely watch it. I would say, like, if I had to rank it, like, give it a score using a true scale of 10, like a true scale, I would give it like a 7, which is like, a little above average, stuff like that. Yeah. Oh. Don't regret it at all.
If a true scale of 10, meaning
yeah,
I won't get into it.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, but it's totally worth a watch. I hope they can make a franchise out of it or something like that, because totally watch more of it. It is really interesting because we were talking about X-Men, and it's basically a bunch of characters that are like Wolverine healing power. Small spoiler, but it's like maybe not that good, and stuff like that, where it's like, interesting and stuff like that. I would say like the worst part was like the villain, because it's totally like this like rich CEO tech bro kind of thing, and that's fine because like fuck all those type Elon Musk type dudes and stuff like that. So that's all good. Definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. All right, let's get into the news, guys. Big news this week. I mean, obviously we had San Diego Comic-Con, which we're going to get into in just a second, but biggest news I think today was revealed. AMC agrees now to show Universal Pictures once again in their theaters. Big shock there. The negotiation table just could not have been comfortable for AMC. I mean, there's no ground. So now they've shortened the term that they can release movies down to 3 weeks. Universal can release a movie from theaters 3 weeks into digital. So interesting middle ground. I see what they were trying to do. The problem here is AMC doesn't have any theaters really opening. I mean, everything's been delayed. In fact, I saw that a lot of moviegoers are like petitioning government to give them bailouts, the movie theaters, because they really haven't gotten anything. It's still going to be interesting to see how this works with movies, because I don't even know what's coming out into theaters at this point, because who's going. But it's still interesting to at least see this, because I know they said that AMC would not show anything Universal, so it's good news that they're going to have them there. Does this going forward? Is this what we get? We get 3 weeks to digital now?
It seems a little shorter than I expected, but that might just be because they couldn't negotiate from anywhere at this point. I don't know if all things were like back to normal, if it would be that soon, but it's definitely going to be sooner than it's been, for sure.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay, so the agreement here says AMC will also share in these new revenue streams that will come from the movie ecosystem. So they're going to get a share of Universal movie sales on digital.
Well, maybe that's part of it.
There it is. There's always some details that make sense more than. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the advantage for or incentive for Universal to do that.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you got to throw them a little bit of a bone, because here's the thing, because there's only I'd say 2 or 3 major movie companies nationwide, at this point.
AMC's got to be the top one, right?
Right. I forget if it's AMC or it's got to be close.
Regal or AMC or Witness, yeah. And then Cinepolis is another one that's mostly international now.
Right. But I mean, you can't just afford to let them fail, because if they fail, when things do eventually get better, you're not going to have anywhere to distribute your films. So it's everybody, don't get me wrong, the digital thing is cool, and especially in the short term, but next year whatever, you can't be oh, all the movie theaters tanked, so ... and nobody's gonna fucking start a retail chain of fucking movie theater companies, right? Nobody, unless Amazon, Jeff Bezos, comes and buys them out. But
he could dent his fucking.
He could.
He could. He absolutely could.
He could be you know what? I got this.
He could just have everybody go for free for a million years too, and be fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Knock down all the theaters and build drive-thrus in their place.
Yeah. In let's see, other news, we've got Tenet has a release date once again for September. Speaking of movie theaters, that's in the U.S.
Just throwing dates on the fucking
what is
calendar.
This?
That's it.
The third date.
Yeah, this is the third one. Yes. Internationally, it will be launching first, so you will see this internationally in August. But it will be coming to the U.S. theaters in September right now. So I expect.
I know, some of the international theaters are doing okay. Peninsula, the Korean film, that's the sequel to Train to Busan. They had a $20 million opening weekend.
Well, I mean, listen, a lot of other countries have this under control. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying it.
I'm saying it. Over 10 cases, not even.
Yeah. They've done a much better job at controlling the virus than we have. So. They get to reap those rewards. We can't have those rewards.
Nope, can't have nice things. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yes. So, interesting. But let's see. We have other news. The Witcher Blood Origin was announced for a 6-part live-action spin-off series on Netflix. So we're going to get a little spin-off of The Witcher, which is interesting.
It seems like this is happening just because they know they can't get the second season out anytime soon.
Well, I mean...
Oh, sure, you got
to fill the gaps, but
yeah, I know.
Henry Cavill's too busy building his own computers at home.
That's right.
So. in tank tops.
Well, of course, if you're gonna film it, you might as well show off the guns.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I'm fine with more story in this universe. I have to watch more of this show, so I've only watched 2 episodes of it, so I want to get more into that. But
you blink, you'll be through it.
Yeah.
It seemed those 8 episodes in this show just seemed like there was is 1 episode of content. It felt like to me, but
I like 8 episodes. I mean, you're talking about 8 hours of content. I mean, I like that. I think that's a good length. I mean, it's HBO. HBO used to do that with shows too. It's 8 to 10 episodes they used to do. You know, so I think that's good. You can
I guess I'm also saying not enough happened in that time.
Oh, maybe. I mean, you could do that. That I won't argue with. But I'm just saying that usually 8 episodes, they can tell you a good, concise, not filler-filled story. So they should. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem I think that we see with TV. Like, we've talked about that with CW shows. It's just so much filler. I mean, 22 episodes of why? You know, like, you have mostly main events get wrapped up in 11.
I really think those 13 episode seasons that we had for a bit on a lot of streaming shows are kind of the sweet spot. I think 8's a little too short.
I think 10's the perfect.
I think 10.
All those Netflix and Marvel shows. I think when they went to 13, we were all complaining there was like 1 or 2 episodes that were just like focus on the random side character that nobody gives a shit about, and like only the first and last 5 minutes count. It was like, you know, the whole middle section just like, you know, whatever.
I don't know, maybe.
So I don't know, but we also had San Diego Comic-Con at Home. Who got those Funko characters? Anybody?
Nope.
Fucking Christ, no, I didn't. So Tony posted in Discord the link for that. And
I didn't even try. I was like,
I got hooked.
I'm done.
I got hooked. No, my problem was I added what I wanted in the cart. I wanted the Stan Lee, I wanted the Marty, I wanted the Michelangelo, and I wanted there was one other. So I added them to my cart, and it's like, oh, you have to wait in the queue. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I waited. Finally loaded about 15 minutes later. I added them. I started going through checkout, and then it just wouldn't load shipping. It just sat there loading. I sat there for 15 more minutes waiting for shipping to load. And then finally at 8:20, it was 8:29. I was like, I'm going to hit the refresh button just to see what would happen. And it kicked me right back to the start. And I re-added everything to my cart. And then at that point, everything was sold out. So I was kind of bummed about that whole situation, but not like super. I mean, you know, I would have liked to have that Stan Lee, and I would have liked to have the Marty. But you know,
well, you can get Stan Lee right now for $125 if you want on eBay.
Perfect. Oh, that's beautiful price. God damn it. Oh, the value of those. They'll come down. Everybody's hyped right now. That's why they sell them for the best right now. So we actually had at San Diego Comic-Con at Home. Actually had panels though, which was good. This was an interesting Comic-Con. I actually think my theory was fans of the original like Comic-Con might have actually enjoyed this more because it's like the panels. It was really more about those panels and like instead of like I don't know the lines. It wasn't, you know, you get to see what you wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know. I just feel like everything's gotten so much about you can only see one thing a day.
Yeah.
And now it was like well spread out. You know, we had some good stuff. You know, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure 3 had a great panel.
Talk about that? How it's having a simultaneous release?
No, we haven't mentioned that yet.
Okay.
So that was, I think that was announced then, wasn't it? They were going to do
Mm-hmm.
theater and because theaters some of them are going to be open at that point. But on demand at home, we can watch that as well, which I'm psyched about because that's one of my favorite, like most anticipated movies this year, because I really want them to pull that off to be a good movie. And you know, Keanu Reeves has been killing recently, so I'm looking forward to this. But you know, so that was a good panel.
I have a bad like Dumb and Dumber feeling on this one. It's like one of those things for me.
Yeah, I hear you. So it was called Bill and Ted Face the Music. I'm sorry, but you know, so I'll just go quickly through Comic-Con here. We can kind of stop me if I missed something, if you remember something we talked about. So Thursday was they announced The Boys getting a season 3 renewal already.
Is season 2 out?
No, it comes out I think September.
Okay, because I was like, wait, what? I was like,
we know they can watch, like there's those trends. They can see the trending things.
No, I mean that's the thing. Is like when you got something hot, they just announce the next thing.
Jurassic World Dominion will be filled with real animatronic dinosaurs this time.
Real animatronics.
Yes, well, as opposed to CG.
Real dinosaurs.
Hey, I'm
real
happy with
fake dinosaurs.
I thought it was really cool.
I mean, that's what made the first movie like work.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
And stand up. But I mean, if the story is as stupid as the latest ones have been, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean that's true, but I don't know. I think that's cool. I hope that I didn't even see the second one, and Corey, you told me about the. I know you're shaking
I
your head
didn't
right
either.
now.
Corey was very upset by it. It hurt him.
So, but that's cool. I don't know, but we'll see. We saw on Thursday there was Amazon's Utopia remake. Nick Frost and Simon Pegg teaming up for a series on Amazon called Truth Seekers, a comedy alien kind of show. Like they're kind of alien hunters. So that looks kind of interesting. And then they showed an opening scene from the New Mutants on Thursday.
Did anyone watch that?
No. I'm good with what I have right now. Listen, this is one of those movies that I've decided that I have to see because it's been delayed so much. The only thing that would prevent me from going to see this movie is if, like, let's say Corey saw this first and it turned into be the Dark Phoenix again. That would be the only thing that would prevent me from seeing this. To the point where, like, it's still listed for August 26th to be released in theaters, or I think it was August 30th, August 20th, somewhere in there. But, like, I don't see this coming out in theaters because of, you
never saw it coming out of theaters, though.
No, I know, but now is more than ever. But apparently, like, the director even got on record saying during this time, he's like, listen, there are reasons why we have not brought this to digital. So that's all he said. So it's clearly they have an agreement with some studio that they have to release this movie in the theaters.
Guess so.
So, but let's see what happened on Friday. A lot of Walking Dead, I think Friday. Season 6 has a release date for the Fear the Walking Dead. Oh,
I was gonna say we're way past.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't even know they were still doing that one.
They are still, and they also decided that season 10 will have its other part. They showed they're going to have more for season 10, even though they said that was the finale. They're going to continue that story a little bit more. I guess with the regulations being lifted, they're starting to be able to film more. Let's see. Anything else in this list? I mean, there's some Star Wars news, but the tie-in comic already got delayed for Rise of Skywalker or canceled, I saw today. And the High Republic is still coming, but it's January 2021. Let's see. That was Friday. Saturday was the Bill and Ted's panel. Zack Snyder released new footage that showed the black suit Superman. Did you guys check that out?
Nope.
So he basically shows up in Alfred in the Batcave.
Listen, I was rooting for this before, but now I'm just kind of sick of their shit.
Well, he said that he's not going to use any of Joss Whedon's.
No, it's a full, and I don't know what Ray Fisher is talking about yet. He needs to be specific, but it just seems convenient now. This full sort of scapegoating going on here now, and listen,
they're definitely attacking your guy. I mean, they're attacking your boy.
He's not my guy.
No,
I told you guys going in before, Avengers happened. I'm like, some of the stuff he does is kind of shitty, and he gets like way into himself, but. I don't know. This just seems like misdirectional here. Like we really forgot that we all hated Snyder before. That seems to be what we're trying to do here.
Well, that's what they're trying to get.
I know. Listen, I understand that, but it's just it's too I don't know, transparent.
For the record, I will not be sucker punched again. So I don't forget. Zack Snyder.
Have you refrained from seeing a Zack Snyder movie in movie theaters yet?
Yeah, no. That doesn't. Yeah, but that's
Zack Snyder.
Yeah, that was exactly. I mean, the only other movie you could argue with was Man of Steel, right? That was it.
Superman.
Superman. Well, that was a shitty movie. And we had to go see that though. I was like, you have to.
I still need to see that Ultimate Edition.
I'm not going to go into it. Listen, I'm not going to get excited for these things. I expect my expectations are, there's the bottom of the screen, right about there. Okay, that's my expectations.
I just expect Batman versus Superman, more of that. Which there's something. It's like I just sort of compartmentalize it as an alternate timeline or something, almost like an Injustice universe maybe, where everyone's evil.
Yep. So anyways, we had What We Do in the Shadows had a panel. I guess that was a really fun panel. They talked about some previews for season 3, which includes gargoyles in season 3. And what else did they have? They had There was one more thing. Constantine cast and crew talked a sequel, which there's not really a cast yet. It's mostly just a crew. And then there was a live-action Mega Man still being produced. That's happening.
Wait. The Constantine thing is a sequel for the Keanu Reeves version?
That's what I'm hearing, yes. That's what we're hearing.
Wow.
Shia.
Yeah.
You back?
So, and then live-action Mega Man is still happening with a big announcement due soon. That was the tease.
Live-action Mega Man.
Yep.
Why?
The only ones that panels I watched was Stormlight Archive, Brandon Sanderson one, and the New Mutants. And I really like the New Mutants panel. I thought it was fun.
Good. Hey, listen, it could be really good. Maybe it surprises me. Maybe it's like my movie of the year.
I thought it was like hilarious how much they were like hyped forward and like discussing things that happened on set and like filming. And it's like 5 years ago that has happened.
Yeah, these people.
So it's fun. You muted yourself, Mike, somehow when you did that. And you leaned forward. But you
there you go.
What that was about. Yeah, I mean, like you said, they're just excited because they've been waiting forever to release this. Who knows if it's good though?
Yeah. And that's pretty much it from Comic-Con. Like there wasn't as much news as you would expect, but that's also because we didn't have much going on.
Everyone opted out. DC's waiting up.
Not opting out. I mean, it's more about like.
Well, Marvel pretty much did.
Marvel. I don't think Marvel was there last year.
I'm sure they had some sort of stuff happen there, though. Or at least coinciding with some announcements.
I thought they had Black Widow last year.
Did they? I didn't know it was at Comic-Con. I thought that
I forget. It's been so long.
I thought they were D23. I thought they did that.
But, yeah, like, and DC's saving it up for the Fandom thing, so.
Yes.
I don't know. This is, in my opinion, this is super lackluster, but what do you expect? It's not really a real Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Better than nothing.
It is better than nothing. I thought it was a cool option. They should do this going forward, even with the convention going on.
I mean, you got to do it from the comfort of your own home.
No, it'd be cool if there was panels were like, I don't know, more interesting stuff. Like, that'd be great to just have them all, aired online at the same time. You can pick it up, but, when, like, Bill and Ted is the most interesting thing that happens, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the news this week, guys. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us podcast at allycangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allycangeek. Like us on Facebook. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe and the like button. Appreciate it, guys. Oh, leave a comment, too. Feel free to leave a comment. We'll answer back. Mm-hmm. Appreciate you guys. See you guys next week. And also tune into the Gamecast.